Oh hey, didn't see you there. I'm expected to make a speech and it's kind of expected for it to last longer, but all my key points are really short. So I'm gonna take an inspiration from my friend Anime over here and add a lot of filler. So I know you're all prepared to hear about my take on the recent events. But first, let me tell you about the time me and my friends swapped bodies. I hope you are ready for wacky antics, cause this is chock full of it. Well, I'm not allowed to attend funerals anymore. Anime filler. The #1 cause of going to sleep early on Saturday nights in the early 2000s of Toonami. Now before we complain, what is filler? It's complete bullshit. Filler episodes, or episode padding, are episodes in a show that aren't from any source material and progress nothing from plot to character progression. Mainly used as a way to make sure the manga doesn't catch up to the anime or to give an anime a more rounded episode count. This is by far one of the most disliked practices in the anime industry from a viewer's perspective. There is a misconception that any episode that doesn't come from a form of paper besides these is a filler episode. Sometimes an anime just goes for an anime original story and diverges from the manga, which isn't always bad. Just about 80% of the time. And there are cases like Black Clover where the story is canon and relevant, but not directly from the manga. Episode 55 and 56, where the character Fanzel and his friends are introduced, don't appear anywhere in the manga, and trust me, I checked every page. Except the covers. The reason why this misconception happened was the plots from one of the novels, the Stubborn Bull book to be exact, and the characters from the side story became relevant in the main plotline, forcing this originally unnecessary story to be introduced before the part they appear in. The reasoning for this complication is because the author, Yuki Tabata, forgot that not everyone read the novel, so they had to be introduced some way. Bless his heart, I have no idea how to read. Another misconception is when an episode covers what is the equivalent to a filler manga chapter. Sometimes there will be chapters that just don't progress anything and serve as stories for the characters outside of what the hell ever they do in the main plotline. This is pretty common in Fairy Tail and usually takes place in between main arcs. While there are actual filler episodes in the series, these aren't those. Thankfully, within the modern anime climate, filler episodes aren't too common, ignoring Studio Pierrot that started the first filler arc in years of Black Clover. And sometimes shows like My Hero Academia will have an innocent filler story here and there, but it's nothing too offensive. Nothing like the Dark Ages. What the hell? Imagine, you wait all week for an arc to continue, last week's episode ended on a cliffhanger, and a damn stuffed lion ruins your entire night. I am in no way implying that all anime ever did was pour episodes out and refuse to stop. I know anime seasons aren't a concept that came out last week, but in the era of the big three, the biggest shows were continuous shows that always put out a new episode every week. Which was great and all because you never had to wait for a new season of Bleach or Dragon Ball or Naruto, but there was an issue with the schedule. You see, a lot of these manga that had continuous episodes instead of seasons came from stories that weren't finished yet, and if a chapter comes out every week and so does an episode which covers multiple chapters, it would be inevitable for the anime to catch up to where the manga was, which is one of these and one of these. So, many anime had different ways of avoiding that, all having to do with fillers, and one anime was specifically the worst, but we'll get to that. Dragon Ball would extend fights. Yeah, that Frieza fight, when the anime was first being made, it was only a matter of weeks behind the manga, so instead of an episode covering around 3 chapters of the manga with that fight, it would only cover 1, making it multiple times longer. Anime like Naruto would of course have big strings of filler. The manga story in anime basically ended around episode 135, and the last episode was 220, which happened to be canon, so episode 136 to 219? 83. The last 83 episodes were filler. Holy... Mostly a waste of time. But their main way of going about filler were to do one-off stories here and there that would last 1 to 2 to 80 freaking 3 episodes. Fairy Tail would take an interesting approach. While of course it had its one-offs, the anime would create entire filler arcs which had varying degrees of quality, but did a great job not even feeling like filler. So if you know your way around the anime block, there's clearly a property missing. What about Bleach? What style did Bleach choose? All of them! They did all of them! 45% of the show is filler! They would have filler episodes that interrupted the main story, that would take place in between arcs, that would extend fights, that would have filler arcs. They had filler arcs in the middle of canon arcs. When you're binge watching a show and you're skipping fillers, you know it's bad when you have to scroll. to get to the next episode. After the Rukia Rescue arc, how about a 45 episode filler arc about vampires called Bounce? In the middle of the Arrancar arc, what if we pretended it was over for 20 episodes so we can have a new arc about a new captain? Well, good thing that after you finish the saga, oh hey, your weapons turn into people for 35 episodes. But after the main plotline of Bleach so far was all said and done, another 25 episode filler arc before we do another arc, and after that, we get the cancelled arc. The screen was just kinda black for 9 years, but honestly at least it wasn't the Bound arc. I know it came off as if most episodes that are filler are bad and are a practice that should have died and been buried with Naruto's integrity as a series. Well, I hope that's how it came off because that was the point. But there are some good filler episodes if the studio behind them actually gives a damn. My one example are the Railgun filler arcs. While there are actual one-off filler episodes, every other arc in Railgun is not from source material. My guess is probably because most arcs take over 12 episodes to do well, and when you sign up for a 24 episode season, well, you gotta do something. But I had no idea some of these were filler until I researched the series, so I would say that's how filler is successful, when you have no idea that's even the case. I could have gone more into detail about why fillers are bad, such as how they typically have lower production value than canon episodes, which really prevents them from being as good as normal episodes, but I gotta go have a non-life-changing trip to the beach.